Seated playing touched by Josh Terrell, assisted by Justin Seagway, Steve Hastings, Thompson Scott, and Sam Navarro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Robert C. Byrd High School. This is RCB football.
Stiff on the midfield, down the near side sideline to the 30, the 20, the 10. They're not going to get him. It's a Robert C. Byrd touchdown.
Welcome back to Eagle Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Griffin alongside Jonathan Griffin. We hope you'll join us for tonight's matchup between the Point Pleasant Black Knights and your RCB Flying Eagles. Tonight is homecoming night at Robert C. Byrd High School. We'll be right back to take a look at tonight's matchup after these messages.
County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game, the homecoming game 2022 at Robert C. Byrd High School, features the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles at 2-5, taking on the Point Pleasant Black Knights with a record of 4-3, Jonathan. And what have the Black Knights done so far this year over in the western part of the state along the Ohio River?
Yeah, so looking at the Black Knights from Point Pleasant, head coach is David Darst. He's a Glenville State graduate. He's in his 15th season there at Point Pleasant, and he's got an overall record of 123-40. Looking this year, they have wins over Greenbrier East, Mingo Central, Warren Local, and Wyoming East. They fell to Gala Academy out of Ohio. They fell to Scott and Fort Fry. Looking at Robert C. Byrd, they come in tonight at 2-5 with wins over Oak Glen and Elkins. They fell to Kaiser, Greenbrier East, Bridgeport, Lincoln, and Fairmont Senior. And this is Josh Gorell's eighth season at the helm as the head coach, and he overall is 54-33.
So, as the fireworks explode over here behind the football stadium on what was once the football practice field, both teams have emerged from the locker room and are out on the field. Captains now meeting at center field, right on the head of the Eagle for tonight's matchup.
Beautiful night for football.
Beautiful night for football. Comfortable. It's a beautiful day. No clouds to be seen. No precipitation. Should be a nice dry night. Ideal weather for football, Jonathan.
Yeah, the fans might not agree with me because they are bundled up. But if you're a football player down on that field, this is the perfect weather to play.
Yes, yeah. RCB, as I mentioned, homecoming 2022 here at the high school. We had a spirited pep rally today, and we had our homecoming assembly yesterday morning where the princesses were introduced. And we'll bring you all that action with the coronation live at halftime.
Looks like they just finished the coin toss. The field mic for the head official is not working currently at the moment, so we will do our best to relay what the penalties are from our officials here for the first half. So we'll see if we get that up and running here in the meantime.
Well, fortunate for us that you played college football and you know the signs. I know most of them, but there's a few that are still a little bit fuzzy to me. So we'll rely on you to get those signs in.
Yeah.
The common ones we know, but there are some that are a little less used than others that you don't familiar with.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Point Pleasant will probably win the toss as Robert C. Byrd's kickoff receiving team has taken the field.
That'll mean Bryce Byrd will step back deep along with Braden Thomason for the Eagles. Thomason just another week, 3 goals last night in the soccer game here at Robert C. Byrd. And the soccer team will advance in the sectional. So the Black Knights getting ready to kick off. Nothing on their uniform is black. They have gray pants and white shirts. Robert C. Byrd donning green shirts and white pants. And here's Thomason. He fields the ball at about the 10, makes his way upfield to about the 20 where he's tripped up by the Point Pleasant defense. So Robert C. Byrd will take over 1st and 10 right about the 20. And we're checking to see who the kicker was for Point Pleasant. On the field, he is number 24, but on the roster, he is not listed. So we'll try to get a clarification on that if we can. So here's Nick George in the shotgun. Latrell Jones flanks him to the left. It's a handoff to Jones straight up the middle. A couple yards. Pick up about 2.
Little penetration there by Point Pleasant.
And that was not Latrell Jones. That's my fault. That was Braylon Hilliard on the carry. So I apologize for that.
That was Brandon Black credited with the tackle for Point Pleasant.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 8. Ball resting at the 22. Here's Nick George out of the shotgun. He gets the ball out to Losky, who makes the catch, and he's going to get up to about the 27-yard line.
Evan Roach with the tackle. And a good job there, George Losky. And if we go back to the last couple games, Losky's really had a nice last couple of contests.
Last game, he really showed his mettle, receiving, catching the ball, getting upfield. So he'll try to replicate that tonight. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3. Be nice if the Eagles could pick this up here to open the game. And we've got a flag down. Looks like there's going to be either motion or offsides. We'll just see what the refs say. And they are going to call offsides against the Point Pleasant Black Knights.
So that's going to give Bird a first down virtue of a penalty, so we'll take that.
We'll take that, but if you remember last week, that's how they got their first down, and you know how the game turned out. So we'll hope for a little turn of the fortune here after they pick up that first down that way. Ball's at the 32. Nick George in the shotgun. Looks across the middle. He's got a receiver. That is going to be Thomason, I believe. Pickup of about 4 out to the 41-yard line.
Correction, Lotsky.
Lotsky on the catch.
And he was eventually brought down by Parker Bowles, a 5'1", 155-pound defensive back for Point Pleasant.
Second and 4. Ball resting at the 36-yard line. Hilliard with the handoff up the middle. Going to get a nice gain, and he's going to, apparently, looks like he's going to pick up the first down.
Evan Roach was there, as well as Ethan Jordan. Both of them eventually combined to bring down Hilliard, but not after Hilliard took him for a little ride.
Nice little burst, and we should mention Hilliard's been hurt for most of the season. So here is Hilliard flanked to the right of George. George steps back. He's going to heave a ball deep, and it's, in and out of the hands of Braden Thomason. It was probably tipped by the defender from Point Pleasant.
Yeah, it looked like the ball might have been tipped there at the point. There is a flag down about at the 41-yard line. It looks like it's going to be against the Flying Eagles.
Looks to be holding. And that is indeed what the call is. So that'll back the Flying Eagles up.
But a good pass play, and Braden was right there, so just couldn't quite pull that in.
So it's going to be 1st and 20. Ball's resting now at the 31-yard line, 22 we'll call it. And this is not a passing down, though, for the Flying Eagles. So they could very well run the ball here. And they're going to basically do that with the pass and throw a little swing pass out to the right side. That's caught by Hilliard, and he's going to pick up 9.
Yeah, good job there of George getting the ball out quick to Hilliard and letting Hilliard turn upfield and get as much as he can. Got really close back to the line of scrimmage, too.
And that's almost like a running play. Second and 11. Ball's resting at the 42-yard line. Nick George in the shotgun, I should say. Here's a snap back. He's looking across the middle. He's going to find Bryce Bird at the 50, who makes a nice catch and is swung out of bounds by Point Pleasant.
Good job there by Bird of not officially going out of bounds. Tried to get upfield and get a couple more extra yards. He was eventually pushed out there by Roach, the 5'8", 155-pound defensive back.
And it's been a nice job of just getting what you can when you had 1st and 22. That's a long way to go, but they've picked up 2 nice gains on 2 plays, and now it's a very manageable 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and what that does is it opens up the defense. If they keep everything in front, it opens up big play possibilities down the field.
And here's a handoff to Hilliard, and he's going to be stopped short, maybe even is going to lose a yard. And it's going to bring up about 4th and 4 with the loss of 1 yard. So we'll see what Josh Gurrell and the Flying Eagles decide to do here on 4th down. It looks like they're going to go for it. So Nick George will bring the troops to the line. He's in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers out wide, and he is definitely going to drop back and pass. And here he's got a man. That's Thomason with the catch and a spin move to pick up some nice extra yardage down to about the 36, 37-yard line and pick up the first down. So a nice little play, nice patience there for Robert C. Byrd.
Yeah, really good job there, again, by George finding Tomlinson. And Tomlinson did a fantastic job of setting the defender up for that spin move to get back outside and get some yards after the catch.
And Robert C. Byrd has done a nice job here early on of mixing the run and pass, like you had talked about last week.
They've also done a really good job, I think, with tempo. They've been they've been huddling, but when they get to the line, you're not on the line of scrimmage having mistakes.
And the other thing I've noticed is that until this play, Nick George has had time to throw the ball, and that time he didn't have time to throw the ball. He threw it sort of airlessly or in air and almost had it picked off. Fortunately, it was dropped by Point Pleasant.
Yes, just trying to make something out of nothing. Pressured, had to get out of the pocket, trying to find Byrd, and it was almost picked off there by Evan Roach of Point Pleasant.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball resting at the 36-yard line. A nice little drive for Robert C. Byrd. They've chewed up about 6 minutes on the clock here already. Here's Nick George dropping back in the shotgun. He's got a man open. Is the pass just a little too long? It is for Thomason. He had Thomason open, but just overthrew him.
Actually, I think that was Lotsky. Yeah, he had.
Yes, correct. Lotsky, my correction.
Yeah, had Lotsky there, and a little. Not sure if they were a little bit off page there. Lotsky was running that Y route to the outside, and George put the ball a little more inside, and it was going to be a really tough catch there for Lotsky if he could pull that in.
So we're probably realistically in 2-down territory here on 3rd down, so it's okay if you try to pick up a couple yards here and then give yourself a manageable 4th down.
See if we'll think we're going to get a timeout by Coach Gurrell.
Which a good timeout.
It's a good timeout. I understand that. Again, like you were saying, if you know going into this 3rd down that it's going to be 2-down territory, I'm not mad about the fact of trying to run the ball because right now Point Pleasant's probably thinking pass, pass, pass.
They're probably not thinking, or they're probably thinking, what are they going to do next? Because Robert C. Byrd has done a good job of mixing it up, so they are off balance, which is good.
While we got a break, let's take a look at some other big games in the area tonight. AAA, number 3, Huntington, 6-1, takes on number 8, Cabell Midland. They're 5-2. Number 9, George Washington, 5-2, takes on number 4, Spring Valley. They're 6-1. Number 13, Princeton, they're 4-2, travels up I-79, faces off against number 5, Bridgeport. They are 6-1. Number 6, Martinsburg, they're 6-2, take on number 11, Jefferson. They're 5-2 on the year. Big AA matchup. Number 4, Doddridge, 7-0, travels to number 2, Roane County, who was also 7-0. Number 7, Nicholas County, 6-1, takes on number 3, Independence, who is also 7-0.
So some good local action tonight in high school football, definitely. So here's a 3rd down and 10. Ball's at the 36. Good opening drive for the Eagles. Here's George with a nice little comeback route to Colley, and he drops the ball. Cooley, I should say. Nice design play.
Yeah, beautiful play set up. Had the blockers there. Just one thing on Cooley. Tried to catch the ball, let the ball get into his body rather than catch it with his hands. And a lot of times when that ball hits your pads like that, it ricochets off of it. Unfortunately, he couldn't bring it back in.
And it looks like Cooley slipped maybe there just a little bit coming out of his turn or coming out of his break and going into his turn. But nevertheless, it's an incomplete, and it brings up 4th down, and Robert C. Byrd is indeed going to go for it. Here's George with light pressure. He's going to decide to run, and he's going to pick up the first down indeed. So a nice scramble by Nick George there.
Yeah, good job of George just pulling that ball down, knowing right where the sticks were, and eventually getting forced out there by Cole Miller of Point Pleasant. Really good coverage there by Point Pleasant down the field. There wasn't a lot of options for George to do, so he just pulled the ball, got out of the pocket, and got the first down.
Good recognition by George. Playing smart tonight, very smart. I want to thank our producer, David Oliverio, for rolling those scores across the screen, as you may have noticed just a minute ago. Doing a fine job as always. Here's a handoff on 1st and 10, and that looks like it's Hilliard. He's going to be pushed to the boundary and going to be run out of bounds. Loss of maybe 1.
Actually, correct that.
That was Lotsky.
That was Lotsky.
Evan Roach on the tackle, I believe.
I never had a handoff when I was a tight end. I had to talk to Josh after the game, but that's another story for another time.
Well, with these new diverse and crazy offenses. Of course, Coach Fisher always ran a new and crazy offense for his time, too.
It's very true.
So they are going to give him 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 8. George back again to pass. He's going to be forced out of the pocket. He's just going to throw the ball away. Good, smart move there. Live another day.
Yeah, there was some pressure there by Point Pleasant on George. Again, good job of just throwing the ball away, not making any mistakes.
Yes. Notice that senior Wyatt Minor is not in uniform tonight, still suffering from that broken collarbone that he suffered a couple weeks ago. Definitely being missed by the Flying Eagles. Here with his team on the sidelines to support them. 3rd and 8. And here's George in the pocket, and he's going to find a receiver that's going to be knocked down. It's going to be picked off, actually, by the Point Pleasant defense, number 17, I believe.
Connor Hatton is going to get the interception.
So a nice opening drive comes to an end there for the Eagles.
Yeah, really good job driving down that first possession there. Didn't make a lot of mistakes, and we had hit on it, playing smart football. That pass there just got away from George and unfortunately gets picked off by Point Pleasant.
But if anything, Robert C. Byrd ran some time off the clock.
And they did a very nice job moving the ball, very balanced.
So they see they can move the ball. So here's Point Pleasant with their first possession. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Gain of about 5.
Evan Roach,
who has already starred in the defense of backfield for Point Pleasant with the handoff.
And that was Trevor Dean, the 5'1", 215-pound defensive lineman.
Here's a handoff. Nothing doing.
A lot of penetration up front there by the Flying Eagles defensive line.
That was Brady Bowen with the handoff, but a good job by the Eagles to put an end to that very quickly.
And James McMillan was the first defender there from the Flying Eagles defensive unit.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 16 for Point Pleasant. Here's a quarterback keeper off the left side. That's Roach. Going to say he was down.
Logan Frum is going to be credited with the tackle, which did a good job as Roach is short of the first down. But you can tell right away, Point Pleasant, they want to do a lot of stuff with Evan Roach, a lot of quarterback design draws.
So Bird's going to get the ball right back here. They hold Point Pleasant 3 and out. Light pressure on the kick, and it's going to drop at about the 45-yard line. It's going to take a Bird bounce and going to fall dead right there. So Robert C. Byrd will start with their second possession here with 4:06 left in the first quarter. Your score 0-0. We'll be right back after these messages. Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, 1st down and 10 for the Flying Eagles. Here's Nick George in the shotgun. He's going to let it go downfield, and the catch is going to be made by the Flying Eagles receiver. That is going to be Lotsky. Cooley. Nice catch at the 25-yard line and a flag down after the play.
Yeah, really good job of Cooley going up there. Had to drop earlier, let him get to the body. That time he went up, high pointed the ball, was going to make sure he was going to come down with it. And it looks like it's going to be unsportsmanlike after the catch. So
a great catch by Cooley. We don't know if he said anything or made any gestures, but you make a great catch like that, you got to let it go.
Yeah,
you're talking. Your play has done the talking for you.
Yeah, he handed the defender the ball, and anytime you do that, you're going to get the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and a personal foul. So it's going to be a first down for Robert C. Byrd, but they're going to back him up 15 yards after the catch. So,
yeah, got to refrain from that.
But a fabulous catch.
Yeah, great catch though. Yeah, you just can't let unsportsmanlike conduct overshadow that. The Eagles will still have a 1st and 10. Ball's at the 41. Waiting for play to start here.
Looks like the officials are going to talk about the spot of the ball. I think they got it right. Byrd gets credited with the catch and the first down, and then you mark the 15-yard penalty from the spot of the penalty. So the down marker is right, but the sticks are wrong. Now they're going back. It should be. Okay, now I think they've got it right.
It's going to be 1st and 10, but where's the ball marked? And we're going to go with the 41. And here's a handoff to Lotsky. He's going to try to go right. He cuts upfield. He's going to get about 2 or 3 yards.
And that was Bryce Byrd.
Byrd, correction?
Yeah, with the fluorescent green.
Yes.
Colton Weaver.
Apparently I'm going to have to go back to my binoculars.
Or just, I think we're going to have to get you to the eye doctor.
Yeah, the eyes that God gave me are failing me at this point.
Next season we're going to start a jar for every wrong number, and I may not have to work anymore.
Yes. Here's Nick George back to pass. He's going to keep the ball, and he's going to rumble ahead for a couple of yards to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, good job there by George. There was some pressure up front by Point Pleasant. He noticed it right away, tucked the ball, got upfield, which everybody knows Nick is a big runner, strong runner. So good job there by George.
Not a lot of guys in the secondary that want to try to bring him down, so works to his advantage. So here's George again with the handoff to Hilliard. Hilliard's going to try the right side, nothing doing. Good penetration by Point Pleasant.
Yeah, good job there by Hilliard. Made the first would-be tackler miss, but then's eventually brought down by Dylan Kiefer of Point Pleasant, which again, it's 4th down. It looks like Bird's going to go for it.
Mm-hmm. They're on their own 33-yard line, so out of field goal range. Punt's not going to change possession that much. So here's a quick handoff around the left side to Hilliard. Hilliard's going to be close to the first down, but I think he's going to be short, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the mark. There was some penetration by Point Pleasant, which threw that play off from the beginning, and it is going to be short.
So Point Pleasant will take over on downs. Ball be spotted at the 32-yard line. So Robert C. Bird coming up just short. So here's Roach with the snap. Quick handoff to the right side. And runner's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 50. Number 32. Brady Bowen with the carry. So that'll move the sticks for Point Pleasant.
Hunter Jackson was the Flying Eagle that forced him out of bounds.
Ball at the 49-yard line. Fresh set of downs. Here's a quick handoff around the left side, and that's Roach with the ball. Correction, Hill, number 8, with the carry.
Hilliard is going to get credit with that tackle for the Flying Eagles defense. Good job of really forcing that play to the sideline and chasing it down.
Good pursuit by the Eagle defenders. So both teams huddling here tonight. No team either in a hurry.
Which is not very, very odd to see that nowadays in football.
It's going to be 2nd and 11. Here's a keeper by Roach. He's going to go try the right side, and he's going to be turned back towards the middle, and he's going to be stopped, brought down.
Host of defenders there for the Flying Eagles.
Bring up 3rd down for Point Pleasant, and that may be the end of the quarter here. Point Pleasant doesn't have to run another play, but it looks like they're going to. They'll come to the line of scrimmage. Here's a handoff around the right side, nothing doing.
And an absolutely beautiful tackle by Ty Drake.
Yes, Brady Bowen on the carry for Point Pleasant. So that'll be the end of the first quarter here. Your score 0-0. We'll be right back with the second quarter action after these messages.
County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Welcome back to Robert C. Byrd High School, Eagle Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready to start the second quarter. Point Pleasant with the ball at the Robert C. Byrd 41-yard line. 4th and 2, and it's a long snap over the head of the quarterback, and Roach is just going to drop back and fall on top of the ball and minimize the damage as best as he can. That's about all you can say there.
Yeah, really high snap there by Point Pleasant. And Roach did a good job of just kind of diving, not trying to do too much, not trying to pick that ball up and do anything, and just diving on the ball and trying to save some field position and make sure Byrd doesn't have a chance to return it for a touchdown.
So good news for the Flying Eagles. They'll have their third possession. They'll start at their own, or correction, at the Point Pleasant 40-yard line. And here's a fake handoff. George is going to roll around to the right side. He's got Thomason. He's going to pick up the first down. There is a flag down, however. And he's going to scamper down the 20-yard line, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. But we're going to have to check the flag.
Beautiful, beautiful play. I'm going to say an eligible receiver down the field is going to be my call against the Flying Eagles.
Right.
I hope not. But anytime you run those fake outs and your offensive line is going one way, you're rolling your quarterback, it's tough to ask those offensive linemen to know where they've got to stop. So we'll see what the call is.
And it does indeed look like it's going to be against the Flying Eagles, both teams walking back towards midfield at this point.
Haven't seen the official make a... Of course, the field mic is not working, but I haven't seen him signal. Now he is. Also, it's just a false start. Okay.
And illegal man.
And an illegal man downfield. So
that's a pick 'em there.
Well, one out of one.
Coach Grell not pleased with the call, either call. So it'll be 1st and 10. Correction, 1st and 15. Ball's moved back to the 45-yard line. Here's George back to pass. He's going to heave it deep for Bryce Byrd. Double coverage there. Not much of a chance for Byrd.
Yeah, not a really good decision there. Byrd was double covered by Andrew Schoon and Jordan Elliott. Really tight window George tried to fit that ball into.
And we've seen Byrd make that catch before, but not this time.
And honestly, if it wasn't for Bryce going up and getting a fingertip on it, it probably would have been an interception.
Yeah.
But now it looks like another penalty against Robert C. Byrd, so they're going to back them up. I didn't see a flag.
I didn't either.
But they have backed them up now from the 45 all the way back to the 44 of Robert C. Byrd.
Yeah, and I didn't see a signal from the ref
so that's
either.
Going to make it 1st and 26.
So here's George with the rollout. He's going to look downfield, and then we got another marker down along the opposite sideline. Catch was made by Lotsky, I do believe.
Yeah, another good play design there. Really had either player George wanted. Went to Lotsky, made a good catch in traffic. But it looks like from the Byrd players, it's going to go against Robert C. Byrd, and it's going to be an eligible receiver down the field. So
So Bird just shooting themselves in the foot right now.
That's twice now. And, again, that's tough to do when you don't run that a lot. And Josh is going to get an explanation from the official because the first one, it did look like there was a offensive lineman down the field. But that last one, I didn't really see any offensive lineman down the field. Now, again, it may not be an offensive lineman. You could be somebody lined up that's not lined up correctly, that's covered, that is going downfield, which therefore makes him ineligible, and he can't get explanation now from the head official.
And you would think that if that's called 2 or 3 times in a row in high school football, that it's got to be very blatant.
Yeah, because you don't see that a whole lot, even on all 3 levels of football. So for it to be called, like you said, on back-to-back plays or even twice on the same drive, that's a good job there by Coach Correll to go out and get an explanation and try and let his up-front guys know what they were doing wrong.
Right. You want to communicate that to your players so they don't make the same mistake again, obviously. So it's going to be what? 1st and 31 now, I think, from the 33-yard line? 34-yard line? No, we'll call it the 39-yard line, actually, folks. Long way to go here for Nick George and the Flying Eagles. Nick George back in the shotgun, and here he's got Lotsky across the middle to about the 50, and I don't see a flag, so that's good news.
Yeah, good pitch and catch there. Find Lotsky across the middle running that deep drag route. Lotsky does a good job after contact to get some extra yards.
And that's basically the same play that Bird ran a couple plays before where they had the ineligible man downfield, but not this time. So they've cleaned that up. Second and 19, ball's resting at the Point Pleasant 49-yard line now. Here's a quick pass outside to Lotsky. Lotsky makes a nice catch in traffic, evades a defender, and gets up or down to the 41-yard line, about there or so.
Yeah, that was a really great throw there by George. Had to put it, the defender knew what was coming, number 44, Ethan Jordan, but put it just high enough over the fingertips of Jordan that where Lotsky could go up and make the catch.
So Bird now 3rd and 11, again probably in 2-down territory here. So again, if they want to try to pick up, or if they can pick up 4, 5, 6 yards here to make the 4th down manageable. Here's Nick George with the fake. He's got a man open downfield, and that's going to be Cooley with the reception at about the 15-yard line, and he's going to get in for the Robert C. Bird touchdown.
Yeah.
No flags down either.
Really great play design there by Robert C. Bird. They've been running that little quick screen to the receiver, outside receiver, and that time George gave a quick pump fake to Lotsky, which made the defender come up and found Cooley on the back end of that.
And Cooley indeed was wide open. There wasn't a man within 5 yards of him. And a nice job to stay in bounds and get in for the touchdown. So Thomason will come on for the PAT. And it's going to be blocked and go out of the back of the end zone. So Robert C. Bird does indeed get on the scoreboard here with 9:41 to go in the second quarter from Robert C. Bird High School. This is Flying Eagle Football. We'll be right back after these messages. Well, welcome back to Robert C. Byrd High School, Eagle Stadium. Point Pleasant with the kickoff reception, and it's muffed at about the 20-yard line, and they're just going to have to fall on the ball. Yeah. So things breaking Bird's way early on tonight, Jonathan.
Yeah, that was kind of a low kick there, and Brady Bowen, the return man, was kind of looking at to see what he could get before he kind of had the ball and just dropped it. Tried to pick it up twice and then was met by a host of defenders from Robert C. Byrd.
So the Black Knights will have to start at their 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Bowen, and he's going to try the left side. Not much there, and Robert C. Byrd thinks that Point Pleasant has fumbled the football, and let's see what the refs say.
There was no signal, and to be honest with you, the ball was... And we're looking at the replay, and not sure if the ball was out.
I know Bowen was on his knees, and he got bent back forward, but he dropped the ball before that. So
yeah, they're going to say it looked like when he went down on his both knees, it does look like the ball is out right there. It is right out there, and it actually got kicked.
Yeah.
So a host of defenders for Robert C. Byrd force the turnover.
Once again, David Oliveria with the nice replay footage here from Eagle Stadium. So Byrd will take over, 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Golden opportunity here for Robert C. Byrd. So we'll see if they can do a nice job of mixing the pass and the run here on this forthcoming drive. Here's George. He's going to step back in the shotgun. He's had time to throw. He's got Thomason over the middle for a Robert C. Byrd touchdown, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, really good job, really good field vision. And I noticed we talked earlier in this game when George tried to force that ball to Bryce Byrd in double coverage. I saw Josh Gurrell look at George and talk about that inside receiver right on that seam, and that time just a beautiful play.
So a one-play 20-yard drive, 25-yard drive by the Flying Eagles. George to Thomason, wide open across the middle. And RCB is going to go for 2 here to try to make up for that earlier missed extra point.
Analytics say go for 2 now.
Yes.
So it's a big discussion in football of what the analytics say.
Yeah,
so.
I know Coach Gurrell was just pouring through those analytics today when I was talking to him earlier. So here's George going to throw a fade in the back of the end zone for Bryce Byrd, and I think he's going to be out of bounds indeed. Yeah, he made the catch.
Yeah, good job. Looked like his foot came down with a little bit of white. Let's look at this replay.
Yeah.
And it may change my mind after looking at this. Yeah, looked
his
like
left foot's on the white. Yep.
Yeah, so good call there by the official.
Yeah.
Still a fabulous catch.
Yeah, really good catch. And that's probably the right play, just they got to get their footwork together. George put probably a little too much air underneath that ball. But nevertheless, a great catch. And like I said, a good play design.
Taking a look at some quick scores before this kickoff. Number 3, Huntington leads number 8, Capital Midland, 14-7. That's in the second quarter. Doddridge County, number 4 versus number 2, Roane County. They're scoreless. Number 3, Independence leads number 7, Nicholas County, 36-7. And we'll get you some more scores here throughout the evening.
So Robert C. Byrd getting ready to kick off. Here's Thomason with another little pooch punt to about the 30-yard line, and Point Pleasant's going to call for a fair catch, but we got a flag down back near the kickoff spot.
Looked like offsides on the Flying Eagles.
It's hard to say the line of scrimmage is where the ball is being kicked off when it's just a kickoff, but it is indeed the line of scrimmage at that point.
And especially hard when you're the kickoff team and you know you're going to pooch it because those guys want to get down there and in case of a muffed
Right.
kickoff or something and try and recover the ball. So
Right. And the kickoff coverage team for Robert C. Byrd is probably a little excited now. They're up 12-0, and they're ready to go. So here's Thomas. He's going to boot it deep, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 5-yard line, but that's going to move the ball out to the 25-yard line on the penalty.
So despite Byrd leading 12-0, they're racking up the penalty yards. That was their fifth penalty for 45 yards, while Point Pleasant's only been flagged once for 5 yards.
And I'm going to say, go out on a limb and say that Robert C. Byrd has more penalty yardage than Point Pleasant has total yardage, or it's going to be close.
You would be correct.
So Point Pleasant will actually start at the 40-yard line. My mistake. Here's a man in motion. Roach is going to keep the ball, drop back to pass. He's got a man in the flat. That's number 7 at about the 50-yard line. He's going to be brought down at about the 45-yard line. And again, we have no 7 on our roster for Point Pleasant.
So really that's only the second time that we've seen Point Pleasant drop back and really try to throw the ball. Everything else has been designed quarterback runs.
Yeah. And Point Pleasant has not run that many number of plays either yet tonight, Jonathan.
No, they have not. They've only ran 10 total plays to Robert C. Byrd's 25.
Yeah. That is going to be a first down, however. And here's Roach looking to roll out. Now he's going to decide to keep the ball as he's pressured. Makes a nice move to evade several tacklers. They're having a tough time bringing him down, and now they get him at about the 28-yard line. So he had some nifty moves there.
Yeah, you can tell why they really run a lot of quarterback design runs with Roach. He's a really shifty runner and does a really good job of making the would-be tackler miss.
And you don't want to give Point Pleasant too much momentum, or any momentum for that matter at all here.
No, because up to this point, you've pretty much dominated this first half.
So here is number 7 again for Point Pleasant around the left side. Nothing doing. He's brought down at the line of scrimmage. And again, we'll try to get a clarification on who number 7 is here.
Again, a good job by Byrd's front to really draw that play out, extend it, force him to extend to the sideline to chase him down and make the tackle.
2nd and 9 for the Black Knights of Point Pleasant, Mothman territory as it's known. Here's a quick handoff to number 3, Jordan Elliott, and he's going to get about 2 yards down to the 28-yard line.
Hilliard's the tackler for the Flying Eagles.
So here, Hilliard having a nice night tonight. So it's going to be 3rd and 9. Big down here for both teams. Ball resting at the 28-yard line. Roach is in the shotgun for Point Pleasant. And here's a snap back, and he's going to fake the handoff and drop back. He's being pressured by the Robert C. Byrd defense. Now finds a man wide open out of the backfield. Looks like he made the catch and went to the ground, but indeed he dropped the ball, actually. No catch. So it's going to be incomplete, and it's going to bring up 4th and 9.
And that was going to be number 49, which, again, we have no 49 on our roster. So
it looked almost like Roach stopped there as if the play was blown dead.
It did kind of look like it. Looked like he was going to extend out of the pocket towards the Point Pleasant sideline, but he stopped, and to me, I did think that there was a whistle. Maybe he heard something that he thought was a whistle. But
so here's 4th and 9. Roach going to drop back to pass again. He's got a man wide open, a nice design play, and they're going to pick up the first down and going to be run out of bounds down about the 6-yard line.
Bryce Byrd is the tackler for the Flying Eagles. Really similar play to what they just ran.
And again, that was number 7 for Point Pleasant.
And I'm looking at our live stats, which I thought maybe we would find 7's name, but it just says 7.
So here's first and goal to go. Ball's at the 6-yard line for Point Pleasant. Roach is going to fake the handoff and keep it up the middle for no gain.
Good job there by the Flying Eagles defense to get penetration.
Yeah.
That was James McMillian,
A freshman.
getting the tackles. Had a nice game tonight.
Yes.
6 foot 210 freshman has a bright future
Yes.
ahead of him.
So Point Pleasant taking their time getting the play shuffled in or shuttled into the team on the field. So here's Roach with a fake handoff, going to keep it straight up the middle. Maybe a gain of 1 yard down to about the 4-yard line. And you would think that this is probably 4-down territory for Point Pleasant. We don't know about their kicking game, but we'll see. Depends on what they get here.
Yeah, I'd say most likely 2-down territory here. So
here's a snap back to Roach. He's going to keep it again, and he's going to rumble into the end zone. Basically the same play up the middle, but something different with the blocking scheme, obviously, to spring him open there.
yeah, really the last 3 plays looked very similar.
Yeah.
All designed quarterback keepers with a guy coming across the defensive face to give that action. And good job by Roach just to follow his blockers, and he was really untouched until he was about 2 yards into the end zone.
So here's Point Pleasant on for the PAT. And it's going to be blocked. And you cannot pick that up and run with it after the blocked PAT. That was number 24 on the PAT, and that was Alex Strader.
So good job there by Robert C. Bird. So 2 blocked PATs in this contest so far tonight. One by the Flying Eagles and 1 by Point Pleasant.
So that's going to make our score 12-6 here. No PATs good so far tonight. So we're a perfect 0 for 3. So
there's only been 1 punt.
Yeah. So the kicking game's suffering tonight a little bit. So
taking a look at some other scores. Number 12, University leads Preston 7-0. That's in the first quarter. Number 5, Winfield leads Nitro 28-3. In single A, you've got number 1, Williamstown. They are playing Fort Fry out of Ohio. They are trailing in the second quarter 8-0. Number 2, Wheeling Central is leading. Another team playing an outside state competition. They are leading 7-0 over Beaver Local. That is in the first quarter. Number 7, Tucker County. They lead Gilmer County 16-0.
is that game in Tucker County or Gilmer County?
Believe it is in Tucker County.
I bet it's cold up in Tucker County tonight. So here's Point Pleasant with the kickoff, and that's going to trickle into the end zone. I believe that is Lotsky down there. No, that was Braylon Hilliard, just letting that trickle into the end zone. A good decision on his part.
Another score update, local one, a big matchup. Number 12, Lincoln, leads Liberty 21-7 in the second quarter.
So good local matchup. Bird having been beat by Lincoln earlier in the year, and they still have to play Liberty before their season is complete. Ball's going to be spotted at the 20-yard line for the Flying Eagles. So with 5:15 left to go here in the second quarter, we'll see if they can put together a nice little drive here, keep the momentum going that they have established. And here's George with a quick little out pass to Thomason. Thomason's got some room, and he's going to get up to the 29-yard line. Looked like he might break that for a little bit more. And I think that's what his coaches are telling him, break it up to the middle. And Thomason broke left and maybe should have cut it and kept it up straight.
Yeah, really, he ran into the only would-be tackler there, Andrew Schoon, which if Schoon doesn't make that tackle, it's probably 6.
Yeah. So it's a 2nd and 1 for Robert C. Byrd. Here's Nick George in the shotgun again. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's going to keep it. He's going to run. Picks up the first down, but he fumbles the ball, and it's going to be recovered by Point Pleasant.
Good job there by George to kind of pull the ball and get what he could. Just couldn't tuck it away there.
Yeah.
You kind of saw at the end of that play him kind of – you could tell he didn't have the ball secured greatly because he reached back to try and prevent it looked like Ethan Jordan was a defender that kind of caused that fumble there, ripped that ball from behind.
Yeah, the ball's got to be firmly in your gut when you are running. And Nick knows that. Just got to maintain it. Execution. So here's Bowen off the left side for Point Pleasant. Nothing doing there. Gain of about 2. So something was doing, but not much.
Yeah, good job there by Gale Adams. Kind of blew that play up. Didn't get credit with the tackle, but he forced some pressure in there and made Bowen kind of jump up over him.
His action made the tackle possible for somebody else. 2nd and 8, balls at the 39-yard line. 4:03 to go here in a second quarter. Here's a handoff to Bone. He's going to turn and he's going to keep the ball, and he's going to pick up the first down, and he's going to wind up down around the 25, 26-yard line of Robert C. Byrd. So when Bowen gets that snap, he almost does a 360 and turns completely around, and that's part of their design, though, right?
Yeah, that's a design. That is trying to get, those defenders and those linebackers are flowing with that motion. So when they see a guy kind of come left and spin back, it just takes that one step to the left, and then you've got to come all the way back to the right, and it just makes that gives that runner much more advantage.
And that's just another thing for the defender to think about when he sees him make that turn. So 1st and 10 from the 26 for the Black Knights. Here's a handoff to Bowen. He's going to rumble around the right side, and he's going to get all the way down to about the 5-yard line.
Yes.
And a flag down across the way. We'll see what that is. About the 10-yard line.
10-yard line. Looks like it's going to go against Point Pleasant.
Looks like it's going to be a block in the back. Illegal block in the back. Block in the behind. You name it, it's a block that was illegal. Don't forget that the homecoming activities at Robert C. Byrd High School are coming up tonight at halftime. I hope you'll stay tuned to your tube, your smartphone, your computer, iPad, whatever or however you're viewing us tonight.
And really, taking a look, Byrd has dominated much of this first half.
They have.
But these last couple drives, Point Pleasant has kind of they're definitely getting more push up front.
Yeah.
Running the football. So.
And now Point Pleasant's going to take a timeout and make sure they have the right play in here and the right set of downs for this all-important possession. So with 3:17 in the second quarter here to go, we'll take a break and be back after these messages. back here at Robert C. Byrd High School, Eagle Stadium. And here's another snap over the head of the Point Pleasant quarterback, Roach. He's going to fall on it, but that's going to back the Black Knights way back up. A lot of B words there, folks.
Yeah. Second misfortunate on the snap, and I'm looking at the replay. It was high.
Just a high snap.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times the type of offense that Point Pleasant likes to run, there's a lot of movement and a lot of action behind the line of scrimmage and crossing the quarterback's face. So sometimes there's miscues, and it's not always the center's fault because a lot of time the center always gets blamed for high snaps.
Yeah. So here's a screen pass set up for Point Pleasant to Bowen, and a nice tackle made by Robert C. Byrd.
Yeah, really good job by Robert C. Byrd. That was Rylan Rock did a good job. They had it set up and had a blocker there, but Rylan Rock just shedded the blocker and had made a nice tackle.
Yeah. We have identified number 7 for Point Pleasant. It's Jason Hughes. So Jason Hughes, for whatever reason, decided to wear number 7 tonight instead of 16 as he's listed on the website. So call it a game time decision or whatever, but he's in number 7. So here's a 3rd and 13 at the 29. Roach is going to drop back to pass. He's going to roll right. Can't find anybody. Has to keep the ball. Now finds a receiver, but it's going to be too high and too far right, out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, good coverage down the field by the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles defense.
Yeah.
Nothing doing there for Point Pleasant, and Roach just trying to find somebody down the field. And
Roach didn't really look like he wanted to run the ball either, but if he had, he could have picked up maybe half of the yardage for the first down because it's 4th and 13 now.
Yep. Big 4th down coming up here for
huge
for the Flying Eagles. See if they can get Point Pleasant's offense off the field, and maybe with one timeout left, maybe if you can run a 2-minute drill.
And I know I said a big down a few minutes ago, but again, big down.
It's like Point
And now we have another timeout.
It's going to take a timeout.
Point Pleasant, I believe, takes the timeout there. Want to welcome in all our friends and alumni listening to us around the country on the RCBSN network, those in Ohio, Virginia, in the Alexandria area, in the Carolinas, in Maryland, in Pennsylvania, especially the Millvale area. Hope everybody is tuning in tonight. Seeing a really great game so far and a really nice performance by Robert C. Byrd.
Another score update, another local big-time game in our area. Number 12, South Harrison, and number 16, St. Mary's, are tied up at 14-all in the second quarter. A lot of people remember St. Mary's had that really good run in 2020 to win a single-A state championship in football.
And, of course, Brett Hathaway is the South Harrison head coach. He is also a teacher here at Robert C. Byrd. I talk to him on a daily basis, give him a thumbs up. So here's an important 4th and 13. Roach is going to keep the ball. He's going to look to pass. Slight pressure. He's going to heave it downfield, and it's going to be picked off by Bryce Byrd. And Bryce Bird's going to have some room to bring the ball back out to the 35-yard line. So a nice job. So that receiver was opened initially, but the RCB defense did a nice job to close the gap.
Yeah, good job there, really up front, getting some pressure on Roach. Roach kind of forcing that ball in there, and Byrd was right there to step in front of the would-be receiver for the interception.
Good recognition by the RCB defense.
And if Byrd wouldn't have intercepted that, it looked like there was another Eagle defender right there that would have had a shot. So,
and all that, too, was caused a little bit by the front line of Robert C. Byrd getting some pressure on the Point Pleasant quarterback. So here's the 1st and 10 for the Eagles. We'll see what they decide to do with 1:28. They're going to throw the ball. Here's a pass to Thomason in the flat, and he's going to lose about 3 yards.
Yeah, trying again to run that little flanker screen, and was really outnumbered out there. Only 3 defenders and only had 2 blockers. So not much doing on that first down play.
Both teams have 1 timeout remaining, 1 minute on the clock. Robert C. Byrd nursing a 12-6 lead here. We'll see what they decide to do. You might think they'll keep it on the ground, but they're going to throw the ball, and it's going to be complete to Lotsky, and he's going to get about 6 yards to the 45-yard line. RCB in no hurry here. They'll look for something if they have the opportunity, but they're not going to press anything. Here's George in the shotgun again. He's going to look downfield. Can't find a receiver. Now he's going to keep the ball, and he's going to tuck it for sure that time as he scrambles up. And he does indeed get the first down. 20 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah, good job there by George, really putting that ball away, diving, getting that first down. So we'll see if they take some shots at the end zone.
And he was anxious to throw that ball, but he kept it wisely and tucked it. So here's the first down and 10, looking deep again. He's going to throw a ball across the middle to Thomas, and a nice catch at the 25-yard line. And they're going to say he fumbled it, but now the official comes in from the far side and says he was down.
Yeah, it's twice now. The middle has definitely been there for Robert C. Byrd, so it looks like they're going to spike the ball here.
And there's going to be 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds left.
So I'm wrong. They were going for the spike, but they didn't. The Birds ended up using their last timeout.
Yeah.
So,
and at the 25-yard line, the end zone is well within striking distance for Nick George in his arm. Very strong arm on the quarterback, Nick George here. And he's going to be able to it's going to be an accurate pass too.
Yeah.
Not just going to be a Hail Mary.
Would be shocked if they don't go throw something up from what we saw earlier on that 2-point conversion, something in Bryce Bird's area. Though than, Thompson's had a really nice game tonight over the middle, so you might get something in the middle with him. And Lotsky's been a really nice, has had a really nice game as well, and he's another really big target.
But you're going to have to throw this ball in the end zone.
Yes, no doubt.
If you want to have any shot at scoring here. We also want to thank our student, we won't call him an athlete, but student academic cameraman, Anthony Corsini, helping us out here tonight for homecoming. So here's Byrd. 3 seconds to go. Here's George looking across the middle. He's going to put it up indeed for Byrd, and Bird's going to make the catch for an RCB touchdown. What a catch by Bryce Byrd.
What a catch. He had the initial catch with both hands. In the act of catching the ball, the tackler pulled one arm down, so he pinned the ball against his face mask to retain possession, and just another, that's about his 5th SportsCenter top 10 catch this season.
And if you know Bryce Byrd and how skinny he is, he comes off the field trying to flex, but he really doesn't have that much to flex. But kudos on the touchdown.
When you might be looking at a catch of the week.
Yeah.
And just pinned it right there against his face mask. Unbelievable catch.
And he did a nice job to shield the defender, much like you would box out in basketball on a rebound. And Thomason puts the PAT up through the field goals, and that's going to make your score 19-6 here at the end of the second half. I should say the second quarter at Robert C. Byrd High School.
And this is the first PAT made of the ball game, so
and that's why the fireworks are going off. Take another look at that fabulous catch by Bryce Byrd. He actually loses the ball completely. 2 hands come off the ball at that point. The receiver has his left hand. He manages to get the ball with his one hand, pin it against his face mask. It looks like, and then finally gets 2 hands on it when he's completely down on the ground.
What a catch.
What a catch. Yes, exactly. So after a great half, very entertaining half, good half for the Flying Eagles, we'll step aside and hope that you remain with us for the homecoming activities here at halftime at Robert C. Byrd High School. We'll see you for the third quarter.
County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's homecoming here in Robert C. Byrd. Now I'd like to direct your attention to the 50-yard line. As the band makes their procession forward, we want to honor some of the court for Robert C. Byrd High School for the 2022-2023 school year.
I'm not saying I'm superstitious. I'm not saying I'm superstitious. That's why I sit here all the time.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the introductions of our homecoming court. First is freshman princess, Miss Kira A. Harris. Kira is the daughter of Mr. Eric Harris and Mr. Terry High. Kira is active with the youth at the First Presbyterian Church of Clarksburg. She is a member of the show choir, is in the JRPC program, and plays softball. She enjoys gardening with her grandmother, and she loves to go hiking and chase waterfalls. She is happy because she has a fishing pole in her hand and see what she can bring out of the water, whether fish, curries, or anything else. Kira is being escorted this evening by her grandfather, the Reverend James Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, freshman princess, Miss Kira May Harris. this evening is Emily's sophomore princess, Miss Ella Marie Griffin. Ella is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Brian and Linda Griffin. Ella is a member of the Robert T. Byrd Show Choir, vocal intensity, and is the vice president of the sophomore class. She is a member of the girls' soccer team and is on the Clarksville school team. During the summer, Ella enjoys spending time with her big family. Ella is being escorted this evening by her father, Mr. Brian Griffin. Sophomore princess, Miss Ella Marie Griffin. Next this evening we have sophomore princess, Miss Brooklyn Mackenzie Washington. Brooklyn is the daughter of Miss Dorothy Warner. Brooklyn is the member of the Robert T. Byrd soccer team. She enjoys running track and playing basketball. Brooklyn has 2 siblings and a dog. In her spare time, Brooklyn enjoys traveling, watching movies, and spending time with family. Her favorite place to visit is Colorado. Brooklyn is being escorted this evening by her mother, Miss Dorothy Warner. Sophomore princess, Miss Brooklyn Mackenzie Washington. And now, junior princess, Miss Maggie Grace Bratton. Maggie is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Clint and Sherry Bratton. Maggie is the junior class president, a member of the Dream Team, Junior Humane Society, Robert T. Byrd Musical Theater Department, and the Robert T. Byrd Show Choir. She is the secretary of Methodist and has danced at the Alden Production Sunday Institute for 12 years. Maggie is being escorted this evening by her father, Mr. Cliff Bratton. Junior princess, Miss Maggie Grace Bratton. Next is junior princess, Miss Kaylin Renee Carey. Kaylin is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Shaw and Molly Carey. Kaylin is a member of the Robert T. Byrd girls track team. She is on the Robert T. Byrd yearbook staff. In her spare time, Kaylin enjoys photography, spending time with her brother and her 4 nephews. Kaylin is being escorted this evening by her father, Mr. Sean Briscoe. Junior princess, Miss Kaylin Renee Carey. Next up this evening is junior princess, Miss Jalen Marissa Juanita Howes. Miss Jalen Marissa Juanita Howes is the daughter of Mr. Justin Howes and Miss Joel Griffin. Jalen is an honor roll student. She was a member of the Robert T. Byrd cross country and softball team. She excels in art and singing and loves caring for animals and working out. Jalen is being escorted this evening by her brother, Mr. Noah Martin. Junior princess, Miss Jalen Marissa Juanita Howes. And now for our flower girl. This evening, Miss Emma Grace Wilkinson is the daughter of Roger and Tiffany Wilkinson. She is the granddaughter of Roger and the late Mary Ann and Mary Faye Wilkinson and Eric and Debbie Evans. She is in kindergarten at Johnson Elementary where she enjoys learning at distilled class and playing with her friends. Emma loves Disney princesses, ballet, and soccer, and spending time with her cousin and big sister Molly. And our crown bearer is Mr. Joseph Jones. He is the son of Mark and Brianna Jones. He attends Johnson Elementary and is in kindergarten. Luke enjoys playing with friends, t-ball, and spending time with his family. When Luke grows up, he works to be a famous YouTuber. They are being escorted to by our administration. Principal, Mr. Steve Gibson, Assistant Principal, Dr. Jamie Lucas, and Assistant Principal, Mr. Eric Coates. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our senior princesses. First this evening is Miss Alyssa Ray Dunn. Alyssa is the daughter of Mr. Brian Dunn and Miss Tracy Weaver. Alyssa is a 4-year member of the Robert T. Byrd varsity soccer team and the varsity softball team. She is a member of the student council and the treasurer of the I Have a Dream team. Alyssa is a member of the National Society of High School Scholars. After school, Alyssa plans on majoring in biology and engineering. Alyssa is being escorted this evening by her father, Mr. Brian Dunn. His gentleman, senior princess, Miss Alyssa Ray Dunn. Next this evening is senior princess, Miss Malia Rose Harrison. Malia is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Franklin and Jennifer Harrison. Malia is the president of Robert T. Byrd Social Listening Club, the Dream Team. She is a sexualist in the vocal intensity show choir. Field commander for the Flying Eagle Marching Band. Member of the student council and a member of the Robert T. Byrd Theater Department. After high school, Malia plans on attending college and majoring in biology and attending med school for pathology. Malia is being escorted this evening by her father, Mr. Franklin Harrison. Senior Princess, Miss Rose Harrison. Next up this evening is Senior Princess Miss Colby Morgan Love. Colby is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Aaron and Aaron Love. Colby was a 2-year member of the Robinson Bird volleyball team and currently races God. She continues to race every weekend in the NCC and NECXC series. She has received many awards and is second in points for her class. Colby maintains a 4.0 GPA and plans on becoming an esthetician after she graduates high school. Colby is being escorted by her father this evening, Mr. Eric Love. Senior Princess is Colby Morgan Love. Next up is Senior Princess Miss Gabrielle Rose Parsley. Gabrielle is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Mark and Amy Coleman. Gabrielle was a member of the Robinson Bird cheerleading squad and has cheered All-Stars for 6 years. Outside of high school, she works at Fermanagh and babysits the cutest girl in the world. In her free time, Gabrielle enjoys shopping and spending time with her boyfriend. After high school, Gabrielle plans on majoring in interior design. Gabrielle is being escorted this evening by her father, Mr. Mark Coleman. Senior Princess is Gabrielle Rose Parsley. Next is Senior Princess Miss Caroline Ann Queen. Caroline Ann Queen is the daughter of Mr. Chris Queen and Miss Angie Rafferty. Caroline's hobbies include hair, nails, and fashion. She works at McDonald's and is a member of St. James Church, where she is active in her youth. Caroline is a world traveler and has visited many countries and Alaska. After high school, Caroline plans to attend beauty school. Caroline is being escorted by her mother, Miss Angie Rafferty. Senior Princess Miss Caroline Ann Queen. Here tonight to crown the 2022 Homecoming Queen is the 2021 Homecoming Queen, Miss Navy Henderson. Navy is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Darrell and Debbie Henderson. She is a member of the class of 2026 of WPT, where she is a pre-law major. Navy works for the WPT men's basketball team. She is currently maintaining all A's in her class. She's participating in a hip-hop dance team and investigating starting outreach in Wilmington, while still making time to come home to Clarksville and to continue to give back to her hometown. Miss Navy Henderson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your 2022 Homecoming Queen. Your 2022 Homecoming Queen is Miss Kalia. Your 2022 Homecoming Court.
County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Rap scores around the area, ladies and gentlemen. First, South Harrison down 20-14 at St. Mary's. Lincoln leads Liberty 35-13 at the half. And Bridgeport leads Princeton 10-7 at the half.
Welcome back to Panama. Well, I mean, Robert C. Byrd High School. Panama is on the loudspeaker here at Robert C. Byrd High School, courtesy of Van Halen and the PA announcer Gabe Rhodes. Your score 19-6 in favor of the Flying Eagles here on homecoming night. We're happy to announce that the 2022 homecoming queen is Miss Kalia Harrison, a senior at Robert C. Byrd High School. She happily accepted the crown, and then she led the band in the serenading song for the queen.
Yeah, even though she was queen, she still had to work. So.
Yes, there you go. Just like the late Queen Elizabeth. So what do we have in the way of halftime stats, Jonathan?
Yeah, looking at halftime stats, number of plays in favor of Robert C. Byrd, 32-25. Total offense, again in favor of Robert C. Byrd, 265 yards of total offense, 102 for Point Pleasant. Rushing attempts, Point Pleasant ran the ball 19 times for 63 yards. Robert C. Byrd's attempted 12 rushes for 53 yards. Pass completions, Point Pleasant is just 3 for 6 for 39 yards, while Robert C. Byrd is 14 for 20 for 212 yards in the air. Taking a look, both teams each have 2 turnovers in the ball game. Point Pleasant has 6 first downs. Robert C. Byrd has 8. Point Pleasant is just 1 for 5 on third down conversions, while Robert C. Byrd is 2 for 6. Fourth down conversions, a lot of fourth down attempts going on in this ball game tonight. Point Pleasant's 1 of 3 for 33%. Robert C. Byrd is 2 of 3 for 66%. Penalties, Point Pleasant's been flagged 2 times for 15 yards. Robert C. Byrd has 6 penalties for 50 yards.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but 4 of those penalties out of Byrd's 6 penalties were right in a row, I believe, right?
Yeah, all on the same drive.
Yeah.
Some also quick score updates. Bridgeport, number 5, leads number 13, Princeton, 10-7. That's at the break. Big one in AA, number 2, Roane County leads number 4, Doddridge County, 12-0 at halftime. And across town, it is number 16, St. Mary's leads number 12, South Harrison, 20-14. That is also at the break.
So when Princeton comes up to play Bridgeport, whenever they come up north and they get on the turnpike, do they pay a toll?
That's a good question.
If they're a public school, I don't know. I know truckers do, but I'm not sure whether buses do.
We'll have to get an answer.
I would think we could.
Justice.
Yeah, I think we could get an exemption on that one. Maybe, I don't know. So here's the kickoff by Robert C. Byrd to start the second half. Thompson's going to pooch it. He's going to try to entice that upback to come and get it, but the upback says nothing doing, and he lets it roll out of bounds.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where that's a designed kick towards that sideline. But if you're Coach Garrell and Tomlinson, you want that a little more.
Right.
You want that in between the hash and the numbers. And that was outside the numbers. So when you kick it like that outside the numbers, the odds of it going outside are pretty good. So second one out, kick out of bounds by Tomlinson tonight.
And for a high school football player to stay away from that ball is like trying to keep him away from a hot pepperoni pizza. So here's Roach with a handoff to Bowen. Bowen's going to cut left, then cut right. He's got some open field down along the sideline. He's going to stutter step, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So a nice job on first down by Point Pleasant.
Yeah, really good job by Bowen. Saw the cutback lane, cut back, got back to the outside, and saw nothing but green field in front. Eventually, he was forced out of bounds by Bryce Bird.
Nice vision by Bowen. Ball's resting at the 28, as I stated. And here's Bowen, or I should say Roach with the keeper off the left side. He's going to get about 8-9 yards, maybe 10, close to the first down.
So, again, the end of that second half, Point Pleasant really started to kind of dominate that point of attack up front. And so far, they've done a good job here early in this third quarter.
Yeah, they have. Very, very good job keeping the ball on the ground, obviously, and making some headway. So it's going to be 2nd and 1. Here's Roach with the keeper. He's going to get up the middle again. Nothing fancy, just the offensive line for Point Pleasant is winning the point of attack, and they're moving the pile. He's getting 2 or 3 yards a carry now.
Yeah, Roach went untouched there until he met linebacker Ty Drake, who gets the tackle for the Flying Eagles.
First down and 10. Here's Roach with the keeper around the left side. He's going to sprint through their gap, and he's going to be met by several Eagle defenders.
Again, Ty Drake there.
No gain on the play, and we have an injured player down for the Flying Eagles.
And it looks like 36, James McMillan, is the injured Eagle defender. So he is moving, so not sure.
Yeah. Freshman having a nice game tonight.
Maybe just a stinger.
RCB medical staff out there to check him out.
Looks like they're working on his left arm. Or shoulder.
So he's up under his own power. He's going to walk off the sidelines. Hopefully he'll be okay and be able to get right back in the game. And the Clarksburg Little Eagles football team again joining the Flying Eagles on the sidelines tonight, providing them with water, assistance, enthusiasm, you name it. Those little guys do it all. So here's Point Pleasant, 2nd and 9. Ball's resting at the 13-yard line. Here's a snap back to Roach. He's going to hand it to Bowen. Bowen's going to go around the right side looking for room. Can't find anything, and he's going to be drugged down right about the line of scrimmage, maybe for a small loss on the play. So a good pursuit again by the Eagle defense.
Todd Drake again there for the Flying Eagles. So the Flying Eagles doing a good job. Their front seven really now kind of winning back that point of contact up front.
So he did pick up a couple yards on that. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5. My mistake. Ball's resting at the 9-yard line. Here's Roach dropping back. He's got a man in the end zone. He can't see him. Now he's going to throw to the other side of the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. He had a guy, a receiver, I think it's their tight end, all alone in the back of the end zone and just couldn't see him.
Yeah, he was kind of rolling to his left. There was some pressure. If he was going to find that man open, he had to throw back across his body, which is a really tough throw for most quarterbacks. And a good job there by the Flying Eagles defense.
So now Point Pleasant's going to try to kick the field goal, and that's going to be number 24 for Point Pleasant. We'll get a number on that shortly. Alex Schrader. And Schrader steps up and puts it through for 3 points. So a nice drive by Point Pleasant to open the second half. They cut into the score. It's a 10-point game, 19-9 now.
Yeah, good job there. Really, though, by the Robert C. Byrd defense. You bend but don't break. You don't give up a touchdown. They had really good field position, drove down, and you kept them out of the end zone and only give up 3 rather than 6.
And if you're Byrd, you feel like that's a win, especially when you can force a team in high school to kick the field goal. They pretty much ran the ball on you at will that drive, but then Robert C. Byrd stiffens up and keeps them out of the end zone. So, with 9:37 to go in the third quarter here on homecoming night, let's take a break. We'll be back after these messages. Swagger?
Yeah.
Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, here's the Point Pleasant kickoff from the 40-yard line, and it's going to trickle into the end zone, and the ball will come out to the 20-yard line for the Flying Eagles as they start their first possession of the second half here.
So we had some questions early coming in this ball game about the kicking ability from Point Pleasant and Alex Schrader. And he did have a PAT blocked earlier, but he was good on the last field goal. And that kickoff, he just put it through the back of the end zone. So that's a pretty impressive job there by the Point Pleasant young man. That's very tough in high school to kick those balls into the end zone.
Yeah, he's got a leg, that's for sure. And again, they're kicking from the 40, so that's 60 yards, which is no small feat at this level. So here's the Flying Eagles. Nick George looking to pass the ball. He's got Lotsky wide open out of the backfield, and he's going to get about 12 before he's run out of bounds on the far sideline by Point Pleasant.
Yeah, that play's been there all night for Lotsky and George. What they're doing is they're to the far side. They've got 2 outside receivers, and Lotsky's lined up in that H position, Y position. They're basically just running 2 go routes with the outside guys and throwing it, letting Lotsky run a little 5 to 6 yard out, getting him the ball quickly, and then letting him turn upfield.
And Robert C. Byrd's going to continue to do that until Point Pleasant shows that they can stop it.
Yeah, because there's no other defenders. You know, you're running the 2 guys off with go routes, and there's nobody there for Lotsky. He's wide open.
Oh, and here's a pass that is almost picked off by Point Pleasant. Yes. Number 44 for Point Pleasant.
Ethan Jordan, and that's the second time he's done a good job on those plays of not flying up the field towards the quarterback, staying home, reading the play, and really been close now to having 2 interceptions there at the line of scrimmage for Point Pleasant.
And I'm sure the Point Pleasant staff worked on that at halftime. And after you see that play so much, you begin to pick up those tendencies. And Nick George is going to have to be careful throwing the football.
Yeah. They did a good job early, Robert C. Byrd, in the first half on that 1 touchdown pass, setting it up with that exact play.
2nd and 10, George in the shotgun. He's looking deep. Now he's going to keep the ball, and he's going to scramble for about 4 yards. He had a receiver downfield, though.
Yeah, looked like he was trying to get the ball to Thomason. Thomason was open, running a drag route across the middle. There was a little bit of pressure up front and kind of forced George to step up, and I don't think he could quite get rid of the ball like he wanted to. So a good job of him just tucking the ball and getting what he could.
Yeah. 3rd and 6, ball's resting at the 43-yard line of Robert C. Byrd. This could be 2-down territory, but we'll see. We'll see what they pick up here. And here's pressure by Point Pleasant. George is going to have to keep the ball. Flag's down. He's going to get about 4 yards on the carry. No time to throw there, but let's check the flag.
Most likely it's going to be a hold. We'll see if they accept or decline the penalty. Most likely they're going to decline it.
Yeah.
to bring up fourth down, which they do. They decline the hold. So it's going to bring up fourth.
And Point Pleasant has gotten pressure at times tonight, but that time they really came out and really pressured George from the beginning of the play. So that'll force the Flying Eagles to punt the ball. Thomason with the honors here.
The first punt for the Flying Eagles tonight.
Yes, it is. Back deep for Point Pleasant is shown. Number 11.
A flag before the snap. Unless Robert C. Byrd called a timeout. They did.
And they indeed call a timeout. And it may be wise to just go ahead and take the 5-yard penalty there instead of burning your timeout.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I'm not sure. The only thing I could think of is the coaching staff of Robert C. Byrd saw the penalty, because I don't think it was going to be a delay of game, because there was still 8 seconds on the play clock when the official threw his flag right before they signaled a timeout to Robert C. Byrd. So taking a look now at some scores. Number 13, Princeton now leads number 5, Bridgeport 20-10. That is in the third quarter.
So here's Robert C. Byrd, set to punt. Thomason again handling the honors. Snaps off a better kick tonight. Nice hang time, and it's going to take a really nice Robert C. Byrd bounce. Bounces about 15 yards down inside the 15 to what they'll say is the 15-yard line. About the 14 3/4 yard line, but they're going to mark it at the 15, we'll say.
Yeah, great punt there. A couple other scores. Philip Barber, Lewis County. I know you have some interest in that.
I do.
All knotted up at 21 apiece in the third quarter.
Good game. And, of course, Robert C. Byrd's opponent next week, they are at Liberty Harrison. And then they'll finish up with Philip Barber High School here at home to end the season. So here's Point Pleasant beginning to run the ball. That's number 7, Hughes. And he's going to have a nice gain out to about the 40. So Point Pleasant starting to get that ground game in high gear now.
Yeah, and they've had a lot of success running towards us at the press box, towards the right side of that offensive line. That's twice now, the last drive and this drive now, where they've had some leeway, got to the outside, and has had a really nice gain on first down.
So 1st and 10, ball's at the 40. Have a man in motion. Here's Roach with another spin. He's going to give a handoff up the middle, and they're getting 4 or 5 yards before any defender touches him right now. That was number 8, Caden Hill, with the carry for Point Pleasant.
Yeah, and again, it's the little spin move every time from Roach. It really throws the defense for a wrench, because you've got to take a step. So everybody's taking a step left, and I don't know if you saw right there, but Drake was right there, had to take a step, and it set the block up perfect for Bowen.
Bowen with a nice block there, yeah. Here's another pirouette, and it's going to be a handoff to Hill again, and he's going to rumble down to about the 30-yard line.
Cooley finally brings Hill down, and Hill's a little slow to get up.
And it's not just the quarterback with the spin move, it's the motion by all the backs combined in the backfield that makes it so tough. It's causing the confusion now.
Right, because we've talked about it early in the season. You know, football, everybody thinks football is such a physical game, and it is a physical game.
Yeah.
But it's as much physicality as it is, it's just as much mental.
Mm-hmm.
And you, as a defensive player especially, you're really reading those keys. And the one time you don't take a step to the left or take a step back, you miss an assignment. So you've got to kind of do that. So every time when you've got a quarterback that's repetitive like that, and they've done that silhouette every time, no matter what play it's done. They've even done it when they've thrown the ball. So it really puts pressure on your defenders to really react and make the right read.
And it gets more intricate, more complicated at each level. And you know yourself from playing college football how much time you spend studying film, watching the other opponent, designing your scheme and your strategies.
Yeah, it's a lot of film work, a lot of X's and O's goes into it. So it's tough. Makes it tough on the defense. So we'll see if they can get something going here. They did this earlier on the last drive, and then they stiffened up here in the red zone. So we'll see.
So it'll be a 1st and 10. Roach is going to fake the handoff, and he's going to keep it straight up the middle. Looks like it's going to be another first down for the Black Knights, Point Pleasant.
Another score update. Lincoln just found the end zone again. Number 12, Lincoln leads Liberty Harrison 42-13. That is in the third.
Ball's at the 19. New set of downs for Point Pleasant. Here's a handoff on the right side. Nothing doing there. Good pursuit by Robert Seabird there. So you can't keep running the same play every time if you're Point Pleasant. You have to change it up every once in a while.
Yeah, Ryland Rock there eventually got Bowen down on the ground, and really early in the ball game and in that first half, Bowen had a lot of carries. That was only his second touch here in the second half. So they've kind of went away from him a little bit.
And what the Flying Eagles need right now is a turnover. So here's Roach going to keep the ball, and he's going to scamper up the middle, and he's going to be brought down right about the 3-yard line, close to the 2-yard line. So it'll be first down, goal to go for Point Pleasant.
And that was Nick George with the tackle, and he lost his helmet on that play, so
he'll have to come out.
He's coming out.
Robert C. Bird nursing a 10-point lead here. Point Pleasant trying to cut into that. First and goal at the 2-yard line. And here's Roach, met in the backfield, and he's going to be stopped short of the goal line. Made it down to about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, Lotsky was there, as well as a host of defenders for the Flying Eagles. Did a good job there of keeping Roach out of the end zone.
So 2nd and 1 here.
Looks like 2nd and almost inches, really. That ball was
2nd and 1 inch, close to the goal line.
Very close.
And you would figure that Point Pleasant's going to keep it on the ground here. And indeed, Roach is going to, no signal yet. Doesn't look like he's going to get into the end zone. Yeah, he's going to be spotted or stopped short of the goal line. Maybe the half-inch line this time.
Yeah, Ty Drake there. Very, very interesting there on that play call by Point Park. Roach was in shotgun.
Yeah.
And you're about, like I said, at the half-inch, really close to the goal line. Sometimes you outthink it when you're that close to the goal line and not just line up under center. So we'll see if they go shotgun, which they are again here.
And here's a high snap, the third snap in a row, and Roach is going to fall on the ball back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Robert C. Bird had a chance. It looked like Cooley had a chance to pick that ball up and go the distance. But there's a reason why that football is shaped like that, and when it hits the turf, it bounces everywhere. So
it looks like Point Pleasant's going to try another field goal. That'll mean Alex Schrader. Going to be about a 31-yard field goal here from the near hash. Here's the snap back, the hold, the kick is up, and it's going to be no good. Wide right. Wide left.
Had the distance, just a little wide.
And that was a tough angle. That was all the way on the, if you're going left to right down the field, that was on the right set of hash marks nearest to us in the press box, and he had to kick it and aim it to the left and maybe overcompensate.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to account a little bit for that angle of kicking it from right to left and just a little wide. So
once again, a nice job by Robert C. Byrd to hold them out of the end zone on two really close plays. They'll take over at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Correction, they took over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. They'll gain about 2 yards.
Looks like an Eagle lineman is down. He's up on his own power. It's like it's a shoulder.
Yeah. Coming off under his own power, though. May just be a stinger or something. So Byrd may try to keep it on the ground here for a little bit, but their passing game is their bread and butter. So if they're going to pick up yards and pick up a first down, they're going to have to go to the air eventually.
Yeah, they've definitely had some success throwing the ball, but I know if you're Josh, you want to try and stay balanced.
Yeah. So here's a pass out to Thomason, who makes a nice catch and scampers down the sideline. Flag is thrown.
That was from the back line judge, so we'll see what the call. I didn't normally that call comes in and it's a block in the back.
But it didn't.
But there really wasn't any any.
And it's going to be a block in the back.
I don't know. That's not a. They both were tied up and initiated contact, and maybe the better call would be holding there.
Yeah.
Instead of a block in the back.
Questionable, but it's called, so they're going to be backed up. Clock under 3 minutes here now in the third quarter from Eagle Stadium, Robert C. Byrd High School, homecoming 2022. It's going to be 2nd and 12. Ball's on the 18-yard line for the Flying Eagles. Nick George in the shotgun. He's going to drop back, looks to pass. He's got Cooley. Cooley can't make the catch over his shoulder. Nicely defended by Point Pleasant. Roach out there on the coverage for Point Pleasant. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 12. And that might have been a case where Robert C. Byrd would want to try to pick up half of that and then have a manageable 3rd down. But George saw something he liked on the outside, went to the pass, but it was for naught. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by the Flying Eagles. Important 3rd down coming up here. They'll take a timeout, talk things over. We'll be right back after these messages. Thing, you think you're coming to play in a 2-5 team,
right?
Back live at Robert C. Byrd High School, And it looks like Robert C. Byrd is going to pick up the first down on a crossing route to Lotsky.
Yeah, good pitch and catch there, and Lotsky, once he got that ball, he did the rest with his feet.
Yes.
So big third down and a good job by the Flying
Great
Eagles offense to convert on that third down, keep this drive alive.
Yes.
And keep that clock turning.
And, Jonathan, you mentioned that Point Pleasant is ranked 14th in the state, and it's hard to predict these games. Point Pleasant takes a look at Robert C. Byrd's record. They're 2-5. Point Pleasant is 4-3. Both of them have played tough schedules, and, you come in here and you've got an unranked team beating the number 14th ranked team in the state. Doesn't always make sense.
Yeah, just tough. West Virginia's one of the states where geographically, it seems like Point Pleasant's really far from Robert C. Byrd and Clarksburg.
Right.
And it is in a great deal, but it's not. It's an easy day trip, back. But you don't see Point Pleasant that much. They don't really know a lot about each other.
Right.
So again, it's kind of like those early college football games where so and so meet up and one flies across the country. And you never know what you're going to see.
So RCB picks up 5 yards on the first down while we were discussing high school football and geography here. And now that's going to be Thomason with the carry, and he's going to pick up the first down.
Or correction, that was Hilliard. So good job by and that's 2 runs on this drive by Robert C. Byrd.
Yeah.
So
that running game is going to be important to them if they want to hold on to this lead here in the fourth quarter. Good to be balanced.
Yes, and especially, you've seen where Point Pleasant twice now they've moved the ball and they've been in scoring position twice in the red zone. So you want to try and possess that ball and keep it away from their offense as much as you can.
So here's Lotsky in motion. George with the snapback. It's going to be a handoff to Hilliard. He's going to try the left side. Not much there. They'll give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage and mark the ball there.
And that's going to be okay. Most likely that was the last play of the third, so.
So, indeed, Robert C. Byrd will let the clock run out. They'll have second down coming up here from the 46-yard line when we begin the fourth quarter, right after these messages.
County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Back here live at Robert C. Byrd High School. Beginning of the fourth quarter, Robert C. Byrd finds themselves up by 10, 19-9. They'll have a 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line of their own. Here's George. He's going to look back to pass and is going to dump the ball off to Lotsky. Lotsky's not going to get anything. That's that same play, Jonathan, that they've been running, but Point Pleasant read at that time.
Yeah, good job there by Point Pleasant recognizing that play because really that play's beat them all night tonight.
Yeah. 3rd and 9 for the Flying Eagles. See if they can come up with another big play here like they did last time on 3rd and 19. George looking for a little curl back to Bird, and Bird's going to make something happen. Flag comes in from the referee in the backfield. Probably going to be a hold.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a block in the back on Lotsky here. Really that same play we just saw earlier again, and take a look at it. Yeah, looks like, yeah. Well, still.
He is getting him. He is getting him in the back. I can see that. And what you've got to do if you're the offensive players, you just got to get around in better position.
Yeah.
You know, if you know the refs are going to call it that tight.
Yeah, really though.
And it's in the interest of safety is why they're calling it.
Yeah, and you know, Bryce Bird came back. He went 1 yard on his route down the field and came back 3 yards. So he really didn't do his blockers a whole lot of justice because he came so far back to get the ball.
And that's actually maybe going to play in the favor of Bird because they weren't going to pick that first down up in all likelihood. So they'll get another shot here. And here's George going deep to Bird, and Bird's going to have the ball go in and out of his hands, and it's going to be a drop.
Yeah, a lot of contact there. Yes. Bird had a shot at it.
May have gotten away with a push-off. We'll check the replay. Had one-on-one coverage down there against the Point Pleasant secondary. Well, not too much. I think the defender maybe fell down as much as anything. So Bird will punt the ball away. 10:59 to go here in the fourth quarter. Nursing that 19-9 lead on homecoming night.
It's going to be a delay of game on the Flying Eagles.
So again, probably better off to take the delay there and not burn their timeout. They only have one left. They may need it if this game gets tight. Here's Thomason. Nice punt this time. It's going to drive the Point Pleasant receiver all the way back. And he's going to field the ball after initially dropping it. He's going to make his way upfield, but there's one flag. There should be another flag down. This is coming back, even though it's going to be a touchdown. And then there's going to be another flag thrown right about the goal line. Not sure what that flag is going to be on or going to be for, though. So,
really good punt.
Most likely all for naught.
Yeah, really good punt by Tomlinson, and it was really a knuckleball. And initially, the return man dropped it and picked it back up, and I think that actually helped him.
Yeah,
because it set up a couple blocks, but there's going to be a block in the back.
And when that ball does bounce like that, a lot of times, well, sometimes it will help the defender, or excuse me, the return man.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what the flag at the goal line was all about. Could have been unsportsmanlike conduct because there certainly didn't look like there was any contact at that point.
And the flag's still down, so the official
is
going to run down, see his 40 time. He's going to collect his flag. I think you're probably right. I think it was probably going to be unsportsman because I think the return man
let him know that he had just returned the ball.
Die. Well, there was a block. Well, no, actually, I take that back.
There was a block?
Yeah, there was a block in the back. There wasn't much right there.
Yeah, that's hard to call. I mean, yeah. So anyways, Point Pleasant's going to take over. They're going to run the ball up the gut here. They're going to get a first down. 10:32 on the clock, and time becoming a factor now. So a good game all around tonight, really, Jonathan.
Yeah, really good game. And like you just mentioned,
entertaining.
The time is definitely not in favor of Point Pleasant, as they're going to need at least 2 scores.
Yeah, blowouts either way are no fun for the fans, the team, or the broadcasters. And that's just everybody right there I just named, basically. So coaching staffs included.
The officials.
The officials.
Beautiful tackle
Yeah,
there.
yeah. That was Hughes trying the right side, correction left side. Nothing doing.
And that was Hilliard. Did a fabulous job of staying home.
And Hilliard is another one of those tall, lanky players, much like Bryce Bird, that is, and Cooley. He's got a little bit more meat on his bones, though.
Yeah, just does a good job of staying home, reading his keys.
Here's a 2nd and 11. Roach is going to keep it for about 3, up to about the, we'll call it the 38-yard line.
A good tackle by Logan Frum. And really, this is really the first possession of this second half where Point Pleasant hasn't really dominated up front.
Yeah.
Bird's done a good job of countering here in this second half.
So it's a 3rd and 7, balls at the 38 for Point Pleasant. Several men creating confusion in the backfield, and they're going to come up short of the first down by about 3 yards.
Yeah, they went with a lot of misdirection there. But again, a good job by Robert C. Bird. As Coach Josh Grell says, read your keys.
And if you watch the replay, that's almost 2 men in motion.
Oh, very close.
It's very, very close.
Very close.
And if I was Coach Grell, I might be mentioning that to the official. So here's a 4th and 3. Point Pleasant's going to try for it. Roach is going to keep it, and he's going to get across the 50-yard line and get the first down. So nice job by Roach there, getting upfield, picking his way, and picking up the first down for Point Pleasant.
Yeah, good job there by Roach. Initially didn't have it, but found a little cutback lane, cut back towards us, the left side, and got upfield and got enough to move the chains.
He's what you might call a little scamper back, and the fact that he plays quarterback doesn't take away from the fact that he's a really good runner. So here he is with the snap. It's a handoff to 32. That is
Bowen
around the right side. He's going to pick up the first down and be run out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. So Point Pleasant moving the ball again. 8:04 left in the fourth quarter. The clock will stop as the runner gets tackled out of bounds.
Looked like Hughes was the ball carrier.
Short gain on the play.
Hilliard with another nice tackle.
Correction, gain of 9 on the play, short of the first down. So here is, and a nice tackle by Robert C. Bird against Roach. Roach kept the ball around the right side and was stood up by the RCB defense.
And that was Ty Drake. Did a really good job of getting Roach on the ground.
First and 10, balls at the 17-yard line for Point Pleasant. They're driving here. Roach again off the left side. He's going to gain about 5 yards down to inside the 15 to about they're going to spot it at the, we'll say the 10-yard line.
Yeah. Maybe just a tad short. Looks like the tip of the ball's touching the 10. So, but another good tackle there by Ty Drake. He's really started to put his stamp on this game here in the fourth.
Here's Point Pleasant. Roach is going to hand the ball off to
Bowen.
Bowen around the right side, and he's going to be stopped. But he'll pick up the first down. Ball will be spotted at the 5-yard line. It's going to be first and goal for Point Pleasant. So RCB needs another high snap or a turnover or a Lucky break, something to go their way. Here's a snap, and it's going to be Bowen, and he's going to get down close to the goal line, just short.
Yeah, McMillan and Frum and Hunter Jackson all in there to keep Bowen out of the end zone for the Flying Eagles.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 1. Under 6 minutes to go in the contest here, so time really becoming a factor now for both Point Pleasant and Robert C. Byrd. Here is Roach going around the right side, and he is in for the touchdown. Was met at the goal line, but he was able to bully his way in for the Point Pleasant touchdown.
Yeah, just got to the edge there. Hunter Jackson was there for Robert C. Byrd, but Roach was able to reach that ball out and cross that end zone.
So here is the all-important PAT by Point Pleasant. And it's going to be up and good. Schrader with the PAT for Point Pleasant. So that draws Point Pleasant to within 3, 19-16, with 5:33 to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a break and be back after these messages. Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, here's a kickoff by Point Pleasant, and it's going to go into the end zone and will come out to the 20-yard line. That's where Robert C. Byrd will have possession in the fourth quarter here. 5 minutes, 33 seconds to go here on homecoming night.
Score update from across the hill here in Clarksburg.
On the other side of 79.
Number 13, Princeton leads number 5, Bridgeport, 27-16 in the fourth, and it looks like Princeton is driving as we speak, so we'll keep a close eye on that.
So here's RCB with an opportunity to run some time off the clock. And George is going to drop back. He's going to look for his receiver out of the backfield, and that's going to be dropped by Bryce Byrd. Bryce had it, dropped it, caught it, dropped it, just couldn't hold on to it. You name it.
Yeah, that's
should have had that one.
Yeah, that's one of those where you're trying to turn upfield before you have the ball. I know Bryce would like to have that one back. Because it was there. It's going to be a first down.
So here's a 2nd and 10 for the Flying Eagles. Nick George just a bit low, intended for Lotsky at the first down marker. Falls incomplete. So that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Flying Eagles. Nick George a little frustrated there with himself, maybe talking to his receiver.
Yeah, there was a little bit of pressure up front, which I think ended up causing that throw by George to be short down at the intended receiver's feet. And Bird's going to take a timeout here.
Yeah.
Talk this over for a really big 3rd down.
Yeah. 5:24 remaining, nursing a 3-point lead at 19 to 16 here. So Bird out of timeouts now. Princeton still has their 3 remaining, which could definitely be a factor here as this game is very tight as it draws to a close.
So we'll see what the Flying Eagles offense draws up here for this big third down.
And you figure they have to put the ball in the air, and they've got to protect George, and they've got to make the catch. And if they can do those 3 things, hopefully they can pick up this first down. Only 10 yards, and they've shown they can do that before.
Yeah, I'd look for something across the middle here.
Mm-hmm.
They've had Tomlinson a couple times and Lotsky across the middle there, so we'll see.
And you've got to throw the ball past the sticks, though. So here's George. He's got light pressure. He's going to throw the ball up, and it's going to be too far for Cooley. Didn't really have him opened over there. Double coverage by Point Pleasant.
Yeah, that was going to be a really tough catch. And actually, that was Lotsky. He was the intended receiver.
Yeah. Yes, it was Lotsky indeed. Yeah, I'm not sure if he'd have caught that, he'd have been in bounds anyways. Possibly. So Thomason on to punt for the Flying Eagles. And he gets off a really nice punt, a much better job punting tonight. And it's going to be fielded at the 40-yard line. And again, the Point Pleasant defender drops it, and then it bounces right back up to him.
Yeah, Andrew Schoon was the return man there. And again, a good punt. And it's really a knuckleball coming out of there by Tomlinson. And it makes it really tough to catch. And Bird had just another second. Bird would have had a chance at recovering that muff punt.
So we'll see what Point Pleasant can do here with 5:10 to go in the fourth quarter and a first down. Here's a handoff to Hughes around the right side. Nothing doing. He's going to lose about 3 yards.
Yeah, really good penetration there by Hilliard and McMillan, the freshman. Anytime you can get TFLs, which for everyone at home, a tackle for loss, that's big, especially on first down.
2nd and 12. He loses 2. Here's another keeper by Roach. He's going up the middle, and he looks like he has some daylight, but he's going to be met just about 5 yards into the run at the 45-yard line.
Again, Hilliard.
Give him a nice spot on that run, too.
Yeah.
So here's a third down for the Black Knights. 7 to go. Ball's at the 46-yard line.
I would
probably
go ahead.
Probably 2 down territory here. Here's some misdirection and a handoff to Hughes, and Hughes is not going to get it. He's going to get to about the 48-yard line and met by 3 or 4 Eagle defenders.
Yeah,
so good job.
Ty Drake and Hunter Jackson both there for the Eagles defense. So we'll see here what Point Pleasant wants to do. They do still have 3 timeouts. But it looks like they're going to go for it here as the offense breaks the huddle.
Yeah. It's hard to argue with either decision, and I don't believe Point Pleasant has punted at all tonight, have they?
I don't believe so.
So here's Roach, and he's not going to get it. Nice stand by the Eagle defense.
That was McMillan there. Huge play by the freshman.
Yes. Rylan
Rock was there as well. There was nothing doing on that play there for Point Pleasant.
And
Robert C. Bird's defense did a great job.
And I think what Robert C. Bird's defenders are doing now, they're not rushing upfield as quickly. They're staying back, and they're waiting for the runner to get to them, and then they're making the tackle. They're playing smarter that way. And who knows if they figured that all out on their own, or the coaches have saw something and pointed that out. But you figure that they're going to come upfield anyways. Instead of Robert C. Bird's defensive line going upfield, they're going to wait for him at the point of attack.
Yeah, it was really weird. I don't know if Roach saw something because he cut back right towards his sideline, but the blocking scheme was set up coming left.
And Bird is going to keep this ball on the ground here, and it's going to be a gain of about 6. Hilliard on the carry, straight up the gut.
Yeah, really good job here if you're Robert C. Bird, trying to keep that clock running. If you can pick up another first down, or maybe 2 first down here, you'll be really happy.
Yeah.
And I'm really shocked that Point Pleasant didn't take a timeout there. I understand you gave up 6 yards on first down, but
you're losing a good 30, 40 seconds off the clock there.
And you can't take those timeouts with you.
No.
So
here's a 2nd and 5. Nick George letting the play clock run down. Here's a handoff to Hilliard. He's going to get gain of 1.
And now Point Pleasant takes a timeout.
Yeah. So they were waiting for 3rd down.
So again, though, which I understand that, but you're looking at maybe 3 minutes now on the clock rather than 2:34 if you take that timeout. The one thing, though, which I do understand with Coach Durst not wanting to use those timeouts is if they do get the ball back, they have shown where they've thrown the ball, but that's not a staple of what they want to do. So he's going to need those offense if they're going to try and put together any type of last-minute drive.
Yeah, because they're going to have to score by running the ball. And the ball does stop on first downs to move the chains and going out of bounds. But, you've got to pick up big chunks on the ground game if you're going to score and go the length of the field.
And while we're still in this timeout, an update, Princeton did find the end zone again, so they lead Bridgeport 34-16.
And that's another good example, like we were talking about, a team from the south, from the southern part of the state coming up. Bridgeport maybe not knowing what to expect, although the coaching staff, I'm sure, has scouted them. So here is Nick George connecting on a pass to Bryce Bird. He's going to make the catch and be ruled down. Ball came out, but not before he was ruled down.
So good job by Robert C. Bird there of getting that first down. And a good job really there by Bird staying inbounds and forcing this clock to continue to run.
And an important play here, Nick George has to come out because his helmet came off, so Rylan Rock in at quarterback. So you just want to make sure that he holds on to the ball here. He'll take the snap, give the handoff to Braylon Hilliard, it looks like, and he'll get 1, maybe 2 on the play. So while it might not seem like it, Jonathan, that's really good execution on Robert C. Bird's part. Here late in the game, unexpectedly, they have to bring their backup quarterback in a pretty significant spot, and you've got to perform.
Yeah, you do, and that's they always say you're always one play away, so that's a good job for Ryland for staying engaged. He's made some plays here on defense. For the Flying Eagles, but again, that's a big situation to come in and have your backup quarterback have to take that snap there.
We have an injured player for Point Pleasant down on the field. So while the medical staff attends to him, let's take a timeout. 2 minutes remaining exactly here in a 3-point game at Robert C. Byrd High School. We'll be back after these messages.
County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Hello, and welcome to Harrison County, West Virginia. With a population of over 69,000, Harrison County is a thriving community with plenty of recreational opportunities, historical sites, and a booming economy. And with an ideal central location, Harrison County is within a 10-hour drive of 60% of the population of the United States, with relatively easy access to cities like New York City, Chicago, and Atlanta. Vital to the region is our North Central West Virginia Airport, which serves as an economic engine for the area, providing countless job opportunities to local residents and has an annual impact of over $1 billion. Whether you're here to visit or find a place to call home, there's plenty to discover in Harrison County.
There's something for everyone in Harrison County. Indian mounds, located near the Veterans Park, are thought to be burial mounds constructed by the Hopwellian culture prior to the year 1000 AD. During the Civil War, the county seat Clarksburg served as a military depot for the Union Army. General George B. McClellan held his headquarters here in 1861 until the Battle of Bull Run. The Clarksburg Downtown Historic District includes an extraordinary variety of architectural types and styles. The Courthouse Plaza displays the statue of Stonewall Jackson, a native son and legendary Confederate general, as well as the flagstaff from the battleship USS West Virginia, sunk at Pearl Harbor. Residents and visitors enjoy a wide variety of unique shops and dining options throughout Clarksburg's Downtown Historic District. Downtown Bridgeport, the shops at Averill Place. Meadowbrook Mall in Bridgeport attracts shoppers from across the region with stores of every size and specialty. Explore Harrison County today. Harrison County, West Virginia is made up of 10 family-friendly cities, each with a robust sense of community and culture. Our diverse housing mix includes new homes and established neighborhoods at various price points, as well as homes of character in tranquil lakeside settings. Carefully conceived mixed-use communities offer plans for a wide array of amenities that the entire family can enjoy. No matter what your age or lifestyle, there are options including independent and assisted living apartment communities that offer as much or as little care as you need. We warmly invite you to explore Harrison County, West Virginia, where your dream home awaits you. Harrison County offers services, opportunities, and activities for all ages. Farmers markets in Bridgeport and Clarksburg feature locally produced foods and live music provided by local musicians. Harrison County hosts several community festivals throughout the year celebrating unique cultures, marking the season or remembering the county's rich history. The county is also home to excellent healthcare services from the United Hospital Center in Bridgeport and the Veterans Administration Hospital in Clarksburg to Fairmont General Hospital, Monongahela General Hospital, and Ruby Memorial Hospitals. The area's fire, police, and emergency medical first responders reach every hill and valley in the county to coordinate care for injured residents and threatened property. In addition, the community offers a number of senior citizen services and centers that provide everything from nutrition guidance and exercise classes to medical care. Discover an exceptional quality of life in Harrison County. Harrison County Parks and Recreation offers a variety of outdoor opportunities. Veterans Memorial Park in Clarksburg features a popular aquatic center with areas to swim and play. At approximately 12 miles, the Southern Rail Trail begins at Camden Street and ends at Custer Addition, while the 4-mile-long Northern Trail starts at the east end of Hamel Avenue and ends in Spelter. A fitness trail winds along the river for 1.5 miles. There are picnic shelters for large groups, lighted tennis courts, a skate park, a dog park, an 18-hole miniature golf course, and an amphitheater. In Bridgeport, the recreation complex features 4 baseball fields, a multi-purpose field for soccer, football, or lacrosse, a walking trail, basketball court, and large picnic shelter. The Harrison County Recreation Center offers interactive exhibits designed to inform, engage, and inspire. Built on a reclaimed coal strip mine, Pete Dye Golf Club provides players with many unique features that remind golfers of its past. Experience it all in Harrison County. Harrison County schools offer rigorous curriculum choices that challenge students at every level. The Harrison County School District is where all are leaders and all are learners, with 25 schools serving elementary, middle, and high school students throughout the area. For quality higher education in the area, local colleges include Pierpont Community and Technical College, Salem International University, and Fairmont State University. The Gaston Caperton Center at Fairmont State University is a focal point of higher education within the county, serving approximately 1,100 students weekly. The Robert C. Byrd National Aerospace Education Center, a component of the Fairmont State University and Pierpont Community and Technical College, offers associate and bachelor degree programs in aviation technology. The path to a strong education begins in Harrison County. Harrison County is continually welcoming new and exciting opportunities for economic.
Welcome back to Robert C. Byrd High School. We were gone for an extended period of time. Had a young man from Point Pleasant injured on the play. Dylan Kiefer, number 52, a offensive defensive lineman. We don't want to speculate, but he was taken off on the utility cart. It appeared to be a lower leg ankle injury. Looks to be up and in good spirits, but certainly a serious injury to the leg, lower body. So we wish that young man the best going forward. So RCB on second down is going to pick up about 3 or 4 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 from about we'll check it here as soon as the players get out of the way, about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like about the 33, maybe the 34.
Yeah. 1:51 on the clock, so that play took 9 seconds. RCB up 3 points, nursing that 3-point lead.
And Point Pleasant just took their last timeout, so. Which, again, I think if you're Robert C. Byrd, and I'm sure Coach Gorell's having a discussion right now, this may be two-down territory for the Flying Eagles.
I would venture to say you're correct, because even if they punt the ball, you're not going to change that much in field possession, that much yardage in field possession, and also you run the risk of a bad snap on the punt. So.
And really, if you go back to the last two punts, they've been muffed, but they've really had some nice returns.
The kickoff coverage hasn't been exemplary. So here's George. He's just going to bull his way, and it's going to be really close to the first down. And I think the second push is going to give it to him.
Looks like they're going to mark him
at the initial.
Back at the 30.
And that's going to be enough for the first down. So that's going to move the chains for the Flying Eagles here on homecoming night. Referee rewinds the clock, begins to tick, 1:37 to go. And Robert C. Byrd certainly in no hurry right now. So Coach Gorell's got to be very happy with the effort that his team came out and displayed tonight.
Yeah, really, really good job by the Flying Eagles to really bounce back this week.
Yeah, well said. Play clock at 1, and George is just going to be in the shotgun formation and take a knee. A couple of more snaps, and that should do it. So RCB with a really nice effort tonight. Really nice to see them bounce back with some effort, play with some enthusiasm, with some spunk,
yeah, and
if you will.
Really, all three aspects they've played really well tonight in the game, from special teams to offense and defense. And they were really effective in everything they did tonight.
Their offense was better. Their defense was better. They just looked like they were more in tune to the game. So that's going to be the final play of the game. And on homecoming night 2022, where Kalia Harrison is crowned queen, the Robert C. Byrd Eagles bring her and the student body and the community a victory. And it's going to be a final score of 19-16 as the teams line up and shake each other's hands at midfield. And here go the fireworks.
Yeah, really good win for Coach Gorell and this Flying Eagles team to knock off the number 14 team in AA.
And if they're not eliminated from playoff contention, they're certainly right on the cusp, and they were really close. And this is going to give them some momentum going into the last two games of the season, which are both winnable games. And that's what you're trying to do now, is build momentum.
Yes.
If you've been eliminated from playoff contention, get your younger players some experience and just get a good feeling before you head into the offseason and next season.
Yes.
All right, so fireworks in full effect here on this very normal, temperate October evening, late October in West Virginia. We'll take a short break. We'll be back to wrap things up after these messages. Welcome back to Robert C. Byrd High School, Eagle Stadium. The Flying Eagles victorious on homecoming night in 1916 over the 14th ranked Point Pleasant Black Knights. Let's take a look at the stats, Jonathan.
Yeah, first team stats, number of plays, really close. Point Pleasant ran 56 total plays. Robert C. Byrd ran 57. Total offensive yards favored Robert C. Byrd, 338 to 310. Time of possession also in favor of the Flying Eagles. They possessed the ball for 21 minutes and 22 seconds, while Point Pleasant held the ball for 18 minutes and 50 seconds. Rushing attempts in big advantage for Point Pleasant. They rushed the ball 49 times for 271 yards. Robert C. Byrd attempted 25 rushes for 79 yards. Passing for Point Pleasant, 3 of 7 for 39 yards. Robert C. Byrd was 20 for 32 for 259 yards in the total air. Also 3 passing touchdowns. Third down conversions, big in the ball game. Third down, Point Pleasant was just 1 for 9 for 11%, while Robert C. Byrd was 5 for 13 for 38%. Fourth downs, Point Pleasant finished the night 2 for 5 for 40%, while Robert C. Byrd was 2 for 4 for 50%. Penalties, just 3 penalties for Point Pleasant for 25 yards, while Robert C. Byrd was flagged 9 times for 75 yards. Individual leaders for Point Pleasant, Evan Roach threw for 39 yards. He was 3 for 7. He was also their leading rusher. He had 23 carries, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Leading receiver for Point Pleasant was Jason Hughes. He had 1 catch for 21 yards. For the Flying Eagles, Nick George, he was 20 for 32, 259 yards in the air, and 3 touchdowns. He also led them on the ground, 8 carries for 43 yards, and Braden Thompson had 6 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown. So a good win here for the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles. And before we say goodnight, some other scores real quick. Just giving us Princeton comes up to Bridgeport and walks away with a 34-29 victory. That is final. Rome County is going to hold on and beat Doddridge County. A big matchup, both undefeated. Rome County leads, that's late in the fourth, 26-6. Some other scores. Lincoln all over Liberty Harrison, 55-25. That is a final. And in single A, late in the fourth, St. Mary's leads South Harrison 28-22.
Thank you, Jonathan. So really a good win tonight. Not much else you can say, but a very, very spirited, very game club tonight. Comes out and gets the win on homecoming night. Next week, Robert C. Byrd will be at Liberty. We will not be on the air, of course, for that game. We only are broadcasting the home games, but they will return in 2 weeks to play their season finale here against Philip Barber High School. So we'll wrap things up from Eagle Stadium here at Robert C. Byrd High School. Once again, your Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles victorious over Point Pleasant by a final score of 19-16. For our producer, David Oliverio, and our cameraman, Anthony Corsini, a student here at Robert C. Byrd High School, I'm Jonathan Griffin saying good night, Doss.
And now I'm Jonathan Griffin saying good night, Josiah.
And good night, everyone.